An Event Planning Guide. Chapter 1. Event Planning for Fun or Business 1. Public Event, Setting One Up. If you plan to have a big wedding or reception, use the following article as a guide. Be very wary of the safety and legal liability of it. A public event could be anything that people come to, either for free or for a fee, things like a picnic, festival, sporting event, concert, party, parade, fair, road race, etc. Practice risk management, which is to go over the entire event for safety provisions. Inspect the property physically to identify any possible danger spots and correct them. Failure to follow reasonable standards of safety could lead to civil liability and even criminal charges in some cases if there's intentional or gross negligence. Use common sense. Pay a few extra people to be on hand for security, for first aid, provide bathrooms, water and ice on a hot day, develop an emergency action and evacuation plan should something happen, and on the day of the event, keep this team out there looking around, communicating with each other about what's going on with either cell phones or walkie-talkies. The physical presence of official security is a good thing. Tell the fire department and the police department that you will be having the event. You could ask the fire authorities to come by and give you advice and even hire, they might do it for free, a fire truck to be on the scene just in case. In order to further reduce liability, you could pass out a waiver to all incoming people and put a message on signs at all entrances stating that you set up this event for whatever reason, financial, education, entertainment, etc. Some events may be dangerous, like a hayride, merry-go-round, rappelling, hiking in rough terrain, etc., and may involve a risk to pregnancy, so they don't have to do it, and if they do, they're responsible for their own actions, not you. If you're serving booze, make a rule like nobody intoxicated is allowed on the hayride or on the boat. If it's a highly physical event like some of the human resource camps are, have them all go through a medical checkup which they must pass before they can participate. If you organize a bike ride for charity and some guy who participates dies of a heart attack, your chances in court will be much better if you have these provisions at the outset. Set a specific goal. Write all the details down as to what will happen and give a copy to everybody working on the event. Form a cleanup crew. There are special events consultants out there for hire if you feel you need one. Keep lines of communication open among all the parties involved. When the event is over, send a thank you to everyone who was involved in making it happen. If your event is a success, repeat it next year. If the event was average, rethink it, improve it. Be realistic. Don't try for too much glamour. Oftentimes, getting the bathrooms there and cleaning up afterwards is a good enough job in itself. If your event needs a permit from your city or town, apply for it in advance. Get insurance on the event. Before holding any type of activity that might be construed as unsafe or illegal, some kind of contest or gambling event, contact the local government authorities about them. After the event is over, conduct a financial review. Think up ways to make it more profitable next time. Find a way to provide ample parking spaces at any event. There is event planning software on the market. Go over the equipment and facilities with a fine-tooth comb looking for hazards, especially if booze is served. Do you have contingency plans for inclement weather? Tents to shield people from the heat? Did you make accommodations for disabled people? Be especially carefully around water. If there are kids, hire a lifeguard or full-time water watcher. For your emergency action plan, come with a list of everything that could go wrong. Prepare a plan to deal with it and have at least one rehearsal. Communication between the team and with the outside helping agencies is important in an emergency situation. Protect yourself both to keep it a fun event and cover your butt should something go wrong. Try hashtag 658.456 or hashtag 394.2068 and GT3045 at the library for books about event planning. Planning an event. Corporate events come down to money and what you plan to achieve. Many are just glorified parties, rewards or rest times for the employees in the guise of education and workshops, which is good if it helps unify the employees and makes them want to work harder for the corporation. If you plan to organize some manner of a social or promotional event for your business, be very wary of the safety and legal liability of it. There are private events and public events where you invite the public in. A private event is reserved for invited guests only. A public event could be anything that people come to, either for free or for a fee, things like a picnic, festival, sporting event, concert, party, parade, fair, road race, etc. Private events are generally easier to organize since you will have more control of the situation, know how many people to expect and who they are. Practice risk management, which is to go over the entire event for safety provisions. Inspect the property physically to identify any possible danger spots and correct them. Do a dry run, which is sometimes called a pre-con, a pre-event rehearsal of what you will do. The most common events are workshop/seminar, convention, meeting, pep rally/new announcement, general party, golf tournament, tennis tournament, family event, resort get-together. The general checklist of factors are as follows. What does your client/boss want? Make up a budget and a contract together and sign it. Who will be your workers and suppliers, including the rental of the site for the event? Where will the event/meeting be held? How will the people get there? Where will they sleep, if applicable? On-site logistics/management of it. Multimedia equipment for speeches and presentations. Dress codes, if applicable. Rules of conduct, if applicable. Food and drink. Alcohol rules. Do you turn a blind eye to drug use? What exhibits will you use? Who will build them? Bathroom facilities. Security for the event. Medical and firefighting standby. Safety. Liability insurance. Controlled entry, will you take tickets? Time schedule of the event. Interaction between event staff and people at the event. Make sure there are adequate exits. Check with special guests beforehand, like those from other countries, to see if they have special needs or requests. Expect the unexpected. Have a backup plan. Have a practice in case of emergency. Promotion, if it is a public event. Failure to follow reasonable standards of safety could lead to civil liability and even criminal charges in some cases if there's intentional or gross negligence. Use common sense. Pay a few extra people to be on hand for security, for first aid, provide bathrooms, water and ice on a hot day, develop an emergency action and evacuation plan should something happen, and on the day of the event, keep this team out there looking around, communicating with each other about what's going on with either cell phones or walkie-talkies. The physical presence of official security is a good thing. Tell the fire department and the police department that you will be having the event. You could ask the fire authorities to come by and give you advice, and even hire, they might do it for free, a fire truck to be on the scene just in case. In order to further reduce liability, you could pass out a waiver to all incoming people and put a message on signs at all entrances stating that you set up this event for whatever reason, financial, education, entertainment, etc. Some events may be dangerous, like a hayride, merry-go-round, rappelling, hiking in rough terrain, etc., and may involve a risk to pregnancy, so they don't have to do it, and if they do, they're responsible for their own actions, not you. If you're serving booze, make a rule like nobody intoxicated is allowed on the hayride or on the boat. If it's a highly physical event like some of the human resource camps are, have them all go through a medical checkup which they must pass before they can participate. If you organize a bike ride for charity and some guy who participates dies of a heart attack, your chances in court will be much better if you have these provisions at the outset. Event planning is big business. The event planner given a multi-million-dollar contract to stage a big event holds power over suppliers. He can play them for extra favors in return for giving them subcontracts, or they can woo him to try to get the big contract. If the event planner is a company employee and not an independent contractor, since he or she holds the power of deciding how the money gets spent, it's very easy to take bribes and kickbacks from suppliers in order to award them the contract. There is a lot of whining and dining in this field for the suppliers who want the contracts to supply the event, host the site/accommodations or do work for it from the event planner. Of course, every event planner has their favorites or their buddies. At what point do you, as the company brass, set out a policy for fair competition for the contracts as opposed to awarding them to allies in exchange for favors? As the owner of a company, be aware that this happens. In conclusion, set a specific goal. Write all the details down as to what will happen and give a copy to everybody working on the event. Make a budget. Sign contracts. Check for fire safety. Form a cleanup crew. There are special events consultants out there for hire if you feel you need one. Keep lines of communication open among all the parties involved. When the event is over, send a thank you to everyone who was involved in making it happen. If your event is a success, repeat it next year. If the event was average, rethink it, improve it. Be realistic. Don't try for too much glamour. Oftentimes, getting the bathrooms there and cleaning up afterwards is a good enough job in itself. If your event needs a permit from your city or town, apply for it in advance. Get insurance on the event. Before holding any type of activity that might be construed as unsafe or illegal, some kind of contest or gambling event, contact the local government authorities about them. After the event is over, conduct a financial review. Think up ways to make it more profitable next time. Find a way to provide ample parking spaces at any event. There is event planning software on the market. Go over the equipment and facilities with a fine-tooth comb looking for hazards, especially if booze is served. Do you have contingency plans for inclement weather? Tents to shield people from the heat? Did you make accommodations for disabled people? Be especially carefully around water. If there are kids, hire a lifeguard or full-time water watcher. For your emergency action plan, come with a list of everything that could go wrong, prepare a plan to deal with it and have at least one rehearsal. Communication between the team and with the outside helping agencies is important in an emergency situation. Protect yourself both to keep it a fun event and cover your butt should something go wrong. How to entertain/put on a party. The number of people you have at your home social functions doesn't really matter, but the important thing is to add a special touch to the atmosphere so that the guests see you made an effort beyond the usual beer and snacks. A tray of ice cubes, a bowl of orange pieces for the drinks, napkins, a nice punch, etc. All these little touches add a little extra flair to the scene. Try for some unusual guests that don't normally hang in your circles. Get some hippies in there along with the usual working class and business crowd. Try for some novel entertainment like a close-up magician. Don't be a fussy hostess, be calm but go for the good time. If there are any price tags on your party paraphernalia, remove them. If you're hosting for a large group of people, borrow some chairs and silverware from a friend or a neighbor. You can make good hors d'oeuvres out of tuna, rice, ketchup, and mayonnaise. Some other ideas are casseroles, canapes, chicken, ribs, leg of lamb, roast beef, stuffed peppers, chips and dips, salsa, nuts, seafood and desserts. If it's a huge party, there are places that rent out chairs, tents, tables, etc. Look under rentals or party services in the yellow pages. Try a cappuccino machine and invite friends over for coffee and cake. Try wine and cheese or a barbecue or a picnic. Tea and cookies are fine. Plant some flowers in your yard and invite your friends over for an outdoor brunch. Successful parties work when there is a flow to the physical space that enables people to move around, back and forth. Try to have it indoor/outdoor with booze and snacks located in different areas. The best cocktail parties are outside. You might have a meal, buffet or a barbecue. Whole wheat bread is a good filler. Homemade pizza is fine. Make some popcorn. Try a fondue or salad. Try for a theme meal like Mexican, Italian, Kentucky Derby, croquet party, Spanish, college frat, sports, tropical, holiday, etc. If it's formal, set place cards at the dinner table. Make latecomers feel welcome. Ease the tension. Use discretion on deciding whether to introduce them or just sit them down. Single people are nervous. Try to introduce them to other singles. In short, if you take the time to cook some good food and wash it down with generous helpings of booze, you can't miss. If you feel pressed, just look in the yellow pages under caterers. They don't just provide food. They can help you with all aspects of planning a party. If there's a no smoking rule, be subtle about it, like no ashtrays, and maybe put one of these redline no smoking signs on the window of your front screen door. Have a smoking area outside, maybe a picnic table there, some darts, horseshoes, cards, etc. Keep menus simple like cheese, sandwiches, chips, nuts, seafood, pretzels, crackers, junk food snacks, etc. You can have a punch and some bottles for straight drinks. Beer distributors rent out kegs of beer for a deposit on the keg. Make the first few strong so that people loosen up, because there's almost always tension at the beginning of every party. Wine and coolers are good for the ladies. Have some mix there for the drinks. Written invitations are best, verbal are fine, the important thing is to be specific. Send invitations at least 1 month before a party. Make the invitations specifically spell out exactly what the theme is and what's expected. You could add a cute little picture on it if you want. RSVP means répondez, s'il vous plaît, which means respond after you get the invitation, because many people don't show up and the host has to know how many people to prepare for. Get everything organized. Get your helpers/employees together. Recruit friends to help you out. Invite a good balance of singles and couples, old and young, extrovert and introvert, work and personal friend people. Start your parties in the early evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Try to mix people together like different generations, different races, different in-laws, different sides of the family, etc. Try to go for casual dress over formal. Clean your place up but don't go overboard. Keep security in mind. That means lock your bedroom door and hide all your valuables. Don't leave expensive things in your bathroom. Someone might steal them. They will steal anything, so clear it out beforehand but freshen it up with cheap towels, soap, etc. Music is everything at a party. Your best bet is always middle of the road soft rock dance music stuff with some disco and slow stuff mixed in. Dancing is a good way to go. If you don't have space in the house, do it in the yard. Don't play the music too loud so that the cops come though. Ask friends to lend you music, hire a DJ or band/musician, or just buy a ghetto blaster for $100 and make your own tapes off the radio. If it's a big party, you might want to rent a community, church, or hotel hall. Play it cool with party crashers unless they're too boisterous, in which case politely ask them to leave, and if they don't, call the cops. Tell your neighbors beforehand and invite them over for a drink. You're liable for injuries at your house, so clean the floors and watch the swimming pool if you have one. Videotape the event for fun and memories. The best parties I remember were the ones at our cottage on the lake, where everybody'd drop by, bring their own booze and food, and we just kept going from day into night, where we lit a big bonfire. Decorate your house. Use your creativity. A few streamers and balloons are fine. Try some colored lights, strobes, or even a laser light show. Space and layout of furniture, etc. is important. Some ideas are: exotic plants, stage for entertaining, interesting entertainers, interesting guests, nice looking bar, hostesses in skimpy garb at the door to greet guests, security guards wearing tuxedos, waiters/waitresses, cigars for the guests, outdoor activities like horseshoes, darts, etc., indoor activities like a short film, karaoke, card games, etc. Consider a theme like toga, costume, 60s music, hippie, ballroom. Solve a mystery like the Clue game, Hawaiian, bowling alley, Mardi Gras, housewarming, special TV show like game, election results, etc., backyard barbecue, beach blanket bingo, flapper, weird science, Mexican, spy night, stag party. Have a special table for children. Have special foods and activities for them. Play simple games like pin the tail on the donkey and musical chairs. Provide toys and offer prizes for winning. Make sure everybody gets some kind of prize. End it all off with ice cream and cookies. Get a teenager to keep them occupied. Try singing songs or dancing for entertaining teenagers. Or have a bonfire at the beach with a weenie roast. For ideas, check out books about entertaining at the library, hashtag 642.41 and parties including birthday at number 395, hashtag 395.22 and hashtag 793.2 or GV 472.7 at the library. AmazingMoms.com, Kids Parties. BirthdayExpress.com. dfcreations.com/baby shower. Mystery-games.com. Anemone.com/planet/Greek/party/PRTY idea. Pacifier.com/Schaefer/games. Parenting.com, Kids Parties. Parents.com, Kids Parties. MarshallMoody.com/50s.asp, Party Stuff. Tending the bar. If it's a big party in a rented hall, you might consider a cash bar for drinks and beer with a punch at the center table for free. Get your friends to run it and you can make a good profit. You might give coupons with the invitations for 2 free drinks at the bar. In some places, you're not allowed to sell booze from the bar privately. Somebody with a license either has to do it or you have to give it away for free. If it's an at-home party or an outdoor thing at the cottage and you're a young crowd, you might consider a bring your own booze thing. Have some non-alcoholic drinks for the non-drinkers. You as the host can be held legally responsible for the rowdy behavior of your guests. If they start to act up, tell them to quiet down or leave. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. A mixed drink contains 2 ingredients, the booze and the chaser. A cocktail contains 3 or more ingredients, the booze, 1 or more chasers and possibly some herbs, spices, and sweeteners. Some equipment you might need is the ice bucket, tongs, straws, plastic stir sticks, coasters, glasses, glass cloth, fruit knife, juice strainer, blender for exotic drinks, corkscrew, napkins, toothpicks, and shaker. There are many different types of booze: vermouth, gin, beer, draft, brandy, champagne, wine, red, white, sparkling, liqueurs, rum, tequila, vodka, whiskey, and special glasses for all manner of drinks. Serve drinks in a nice, clean glass, preferably frosted with ice cubes or crushed ice with a garnish, twist, spiral, wedge, or slice of lemon, orange or a cherry for effect. Have plenty of ice around. Plastic stir sticks with a piece of fruit on them like pineapple are a nice touch. Figure on average about 3 to 4 drinks per person. The general rule is that drinks made with clear ingredients should be stirred and everything else shaken. You can create your own drinks. The major types of booze are bourbon, brandy, whiskey, gin, rum, tequila, and vodka. Some liquors are triple sec, creme de menthe, creme de cacao, Kahlua, amaretto, drambuie, benedictine, and cointreau. There's vermouth, white wine, red wine, rose wine, and champagne or sparkling wine. abustkitchen.com/store/bar.html. Dead website, try.dash.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com is dead, try thoughtco.com. Bacardi.com. Barmeister.com. Barproducts.com. Barsupplywarehouse.com. Bartender.com. Sadie.com/tavern/drink/drinks.html. chowskitty.com/t_chaos/lounge.html. Cocktails. Dead website, try.dash.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com is dead, try thoughtco.com. Cocktailtime.com. cybeorganic.com/people/jpmckay. disarano.com. drinkboy.com. grand-marnia.com. gunther.simplenet.com/liquors.htm, how to make liquors. homedistiller.org, how to make booze. idrink.com. ils.nwu.edu/april/buffett/tobyboat.html. kahlua.com. martinisonline.com. midoriworld.com. ocf.berkeley.edu/pub/library/recreation/big-drink-list. prokitchen.com. realbar.com. that'sthspirit.com. webtender.com. I've seen books at the library, #642.4, with hundreds of recipes for drinks in them. Some of the more popular ones are Bacardi. Juice of 1/2 lime, or lemon, 1/2 teaspoon sugar, 1 teaspoon grenadine, 1½ ounces. Bacardi rum. Shake well with cracked ice and strain into cocktail glass. Black Russian. 1½ ounces vodka, 3/4 ounces coffee liquor. Shake with cracked ice, strain over ice cubes in a Preck-Hild short glass, slightly larger than a teacup. Bloody Caesar. 1 ounce vodka, 2 ounces. V8 or tomato juice, dash of Worcester sauce, Tabasco sauce, salt and Bloody Mary. 3 ounces tomato juice, ½ ounce lemon juice, dash of Worcestershire sauce, 1½ ounces. Vodka. Add salt and pepper to taste. Shake with cracked ice, strain into 6-ounce glass. Cooler. Mix sherry, port, or wine with lemon, orange or pineapple juice, sugar, soda water, and ice. Daiquiri. Juice from 1/2 lime or 1/4 lemon, 1 teaspoon sugar, 1½ ounces light rum. Shake thoroughly with cracked ice, until the shaker frosts. Strain into cocktail glass. Dry martini, 4 parts gin, or vodka, 1 part dry vermouth, stir with cracked ice, strain into glass. Add green olive or a twist of lemon peel. Gimlet. 4 parts gin, or vodka, 1 part sweetened lime juice. Shake with cracked ice and strain into a cocktail glass. Serve with small slice of fresh lime. Gin and tonic. Juice and rind of 1/4 lime, 1½ ounces gin, tonic water. Squeeze lime over ice cubes in tall glass and add rind. Pour in gin, fill with tonic and stir. Highball. Whiskey and ginger ale. Hawaiian highball. Add pineapple or lemon juice. John Collins. 1 ounce whiskey, 0.5 ounce sugar syrup, lemon juice, club soda. Julep. Whiskey and mint. Long Island iced tea. Vodka, rum, gin, tequila, cola. Manhattan. 1½ ounces. Bourbon, or rye, ½ ounce sweet vermouth, dash of Angostura bitters, optional. Stir with cracked ice and strain into glass. Add a cherry. Margarita. 1½ ounces. Tequila, ½ ounce. Triple seconds, 1 ounce fresh lime or lemon juice. Moisten cocktail glass with fruit rind, spin rim in salt. Shake ingredients with cracked ice. Strain into glass. Sip over rim. Martini. 2 ounces vodka or gin, a dash of dry vermouth and an olive thrown in. Old fashioned. Dash of Angostura bitters, 1/2 teaspoon sugar, ½ ounce sparkling water, 1½ ounces. Whiskey. Stir bitters, sugar, and water in glass, add ice cubes, and whiskey. Add twist of lemon peel, orange slice, and cherry. Pina colada. 1½ ounces rum, 1 ounce cream of coconut, 2 ounces. Pineapple juice. Shake with 1/2 cup crushed ice, use a blender. Pour into a tall glass filled with ice cubes. Add a cherry. Punch. Anything goes in a punch. Usually the content is wine, hard stuff, some juices, sugar and some fruit pieces like strawberries and cherries. You can disguise the booze content simply by making it tasty and sweet with pineapple/orange juice and sugar. Rob Roy. 1½ ounces. Scotch, 3/4 ounces sweet vermouth, dash of Angostura bitters. Stir with cracked ice, strain into cocktail glass. Add a twist of lemon peel. This drink is often called a Scotch Manhattan. Scarlett O'Hara. 1½ ounces whiskey, juice of 1/4 lime, 1½ ounces cranberry juice cocktail, ocean spray. Shake with cracked ice, strain into a glass. Screwdriver. 1½ ounces. Vodka, orange juice. Put ice cubes in 6 oz glass. Add vodka, fill with orange juice, stir. Sling. A sling is spirits, usually gin, rum, and whiskey with sugar, lemon juice and a dash of bitters. Sometimes an egg white is thrown in and then it's called a sour. Sombrero. 1½ ounces coffee liquor, chilled milk. Fill 8 oz glass with ice cubes. Add liquor, fill with milk. Stir. Sour. 1½ ounces. Bourbon, or rye, 3/4 ounces fresh lemon juice, 1 teaspoon sugar. Shake with cracked ice, strain into glass. Add orange slice on rim of glass and a cherry. Pucker up. Stinger. 1½ ounces brandy, 3/4 ounces white crème de menthe. Shake with cracked ice, strain into glass. Tequila Sunrise. 2 to 3 dashes grenadine, orange juice, 1½ ounces of tequila. Put grenadine into 8 oz glass. Fill with ice cubes. Add tequila. Fill with orange juice. Do not stir. Tom Collins. 1.5 ounces gin, lemon juice, club soda. Whiskey Collins. 1½ ounces. Whiskey, juice of 1/4 lime, 7 up. Mix whiskey and lime juice in a tall glass. Add ice cubes, fill with 7 up. Whiskey Wall Banger. 1 ounce. Whiskey, ½ ounce. Liquor Giuliano, orange juice. Fill tall glass with ice cubes. Add liquors. Fill with orange juice, stir. Chapter 2. Event Planning for Fun or Business 2. Wedding and Party Consultant Job Websites. American Association of Certified Wedding Planners. ASWP. 210 West College Street Suite 400. Grapevine, Texas 76051-5255. 844-202-2297. AACWP.org. Association for Wedding Professionals International. AFUPI. 2929 35th Street Suite 5598. Sacramento, California 95817-4008. 916-392-5000. AFWPI.com. Association of Bridal Consultants. ABC. 56 Danbury Road Suite 11. New Milford, Connecticut 06776-3415. 860-355-7000. Bridalassociation.com. Association of Certified Professional Wedding Consultants, epub. 408-227-2792. acpwc.com. acpwc.net. National Association for Catering and Events. NACE. 10440 Little Patuxent Parkway Suite 300. Columbia, Maryland 21044. 410-290-5410. NACE.net. National Bridal Service. NBS. 2225 Grove Avenue, Richmond, Virginia 23220-4444. 804-342-0055. Nationalbridal.com. Weddings Beautiful Worldwide. WBW. 1004 North Thompson Street Suite 101. Richmond, Virginia 23220-4444. 804-342-6061. Weddingsbeautiful.com. Event Planner Organizations. ESPAonline.org. Event Service Professionals Association, ESPA, is dedicated to elevating the event and convention service profession. iliahub.com/membership. International Live Events Association, ILIA, is a global community of thousands of creative event professionals. NACE.net. National Association for Catering and Events, NACE, is the oldest and largest professional association dedicated to all aspects of the catering and events industry. natb.org/join. NATB. National Association of Ticket Brokers, NATB, represents the interests of legitimate ticket sellers worldwide, all while promoting consumer protection and industry education. The American Association of Certified Wedding Planners. American Association of Certified Wedding Planners, ASWP. 210 West College Street Suite 400. Grapevine, Texas 76051-5255. 844-202-2297. AACWP.org. Convention Industry Council, CIC. 700 North Fairfax Street Suite 510. Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2090. 571-527-3116. SitchQ@conventionindustry.org. Conventionindustry.org. Meeting Professionals International, MPI. 2711 Lyndon B. Johnson Freeway, Suite 600. Dallas, Texas 75234-7349. 972-702-3000. Feedback@mpiweb.org. mpiweb.org. Professional Convention Management Association, PCMA. 35 East Wacker Drive Suite 500. Chicago, Illinois 60601-2105. 877-827-7262. Communications@pcma.org. pcma.org. Society of Government Meeting Professionals, SGMP. 3337 Duke Street. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-549-0892. sgmp.org. Planning Events Websites 1. Try hashtag 658.456, hashtag 394.2068, A56, GT3045, and HF5734 at the library for books about event planning. liveabout.com/event-planning-6504653. nationaleventstaffing.com, Event Staffing Services USA and Canada. abpco.co.uk, British Professional Conference Organisers. adamsinteractive.com, relevant magazines. event-jobs.net. aiic-uk-ireland.com, International Association of Conference Interpreters. asaenet.org, Association Executives. bacd.org.uk, British Association of Conference Destinations. bica.org.uk, British Exhibition Contractors Association. becominganeventplanner.com. bizlink.com/meetings Canada. bridalassociation.com, Association of Bridal Consultants. byu.edu/culturegrams. catpublications.com, Conference and Travel Publications. charityvillage.com. cmpnet.com, Meetings Today Mag. cogenazatcommunication.com, Event Management. congress.city.com/ICCA, Congress and Convention Association. connectvenues.co.uk. conventionindustry.org. conventionsplanner.com. corpmeetings.net. corporate-inc-travel.com. cscs.ca, Canadian Special Events. darkbad.com. em.missouri-state.edu/profile/fall2003/newman-event-planner-fa03.htm. event-coordinators.com/management-consultant-career.htm. eventmanagementsystems.co.uk. eventplanner.com. event-planner.com. eventplanner.com/cities/Europe. eventplanner.net. eventplanner.net/cities/USA/tourist. event-planner-business-startup-guide.com. event-planning-answers.info. eventshome.com. eventsolutions.com. eventweb.com. exhibitornet.com. exposure.com. expotel.co.uk. expoworld.net. IAAM.org, International Association of Assembly Managers. IAAP-HQ.org, International Association of Administrative Professionals. IAEM.org, International Association of for Exposition Management. IMI.org, Meeting Planners. IMI.org/ISMP, Meeting Planners International. IAPCO.org, Professional Congress Organizers. ICCA.NL, International Congress and Convention Association. ICPlanner.com. Planning events websites too. IMPACCanada.com, Independent Meeting Planners Association of Canada. IncentiveMag.com. INST.org/event. ISIS.com, Special Events Society. IVCA.org, International Visual Communications Association. .com/work, Event Planning Boards. jbfp.com.au/ccg, Convention Center Guide, Asia. marketingmag.ca. medicalmeetings.net. meetingnews.com. meetingplannertips.com. meetings.org. meetingsconventions.com. meetingsnet.com. mim.com, Meetings Industry Mall. mpiweb.org, Meeting Professionals International. nace.net, Catering Executives. pcma.org, 877-495-7262, Professional Convention Management Association. psychiatry.ubc.ca/department/rules/contents.htm, How to Run a Meeting. scmp.org, Society of Corporate Meeting Professionals. seeyouthere.com. scitintl.org, Society of Incentive and Travel Executives. specialevents.com. spevcon.com. successfulnews.com. successmtgs.com. theglassceiling.com/event-planner-sample-resumes.html. theguide.com, Convention Center Directory. tmd.com, Meetings and Conventions Book. tribblecreativegroup.com. ubc.ca/department/rules/contents.htm, How to Run a Meeting. uscarainstitute.com. useventguide.com/career3.html. venuedirectory.com. yourwebcanvas.com/eventplannerlouisville.shtml. Planning events websites 3. Association of Bridal Consultants. 860-355-0464. bridalassociation.com. Convention Industry Council. 8201 Greensboro Drive. Number 300. McLean, Virginia 22102. conventionindustry.org. Corporate Meetings and Incentives. Magazine. Adams Locks Publishing. 60 Main Street, Maynard, Massachusetts, 01754. 978-448-8211. Fax, 978-448-8212. Meetingsnet.com. Exposition Services and Contractors Association. 2260 Corporate Circle. Number 400. Henderson, Nevada, 89074-7701. esca.org. Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International. 8201 Greensboro Drive. Number 300. McLean, Virginia, 22102. hsmai.org. International Association of Conference Centers. 243 North Lindbergh Boulevard. St. Louis, Missouri, 63141. iaccglobal.org. International Association of Conference and Visitors Bureaus. 2025 M. St. N.W. Number 500. Washington, D.C., 20036. iacvb.org. International Special Events Society. 800-688-4737. 312-321-6853. isis.com. Meeting Professionals International. 1950 Stemmons Freeway. Number 5018. Dallas, Texas, 75207-3109. 972-702-3000. mpiweb.org. National Coalition of Black Meeting Planners. 8630 Fenton Street. Number 126. Silver Spring, Maryland, 20910. 301-587-9100. Society of Corporate Meeting Planners. 2107 Del Monte Avenue. Monterey, California, 93940. 408-649-6544. Event planning/event organizer job websites. mpiweb.org, Meeting Professionals International, perhaps the most high-profile site that lists job openings specifically for event planners. madsearch.com, Meetings and Destinations Search International, MAD Jobs lists job opportunities in both the hotel and meeting planning industries. Meetingsnet.com, Meetingsnet, news and links for the meetings, hospitality, and business travel industries. CISO.org, Society of Independent Show Organizers. IAEE.com, International Association of Expositions and Events, represents the interests of trade show and exposition managers and is the leading association for the global exhibition industry. SpecialEventSite.com, special event site, listings of event planning companies and related vendors. NACE.net, National Association for Catering and Events. IACVB.org, International Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus/Destination Marketing. ASAEnet.org, American Society of Association Executives. Coolworks.com, Coolworks, information and links to both seasonal jobs and career opportunities at national parks, theme parks, resorts/lodges, cruise lines, and other tourism-related companies. wineandhospitalityjobs.com, wine and hospitality jobs. hcareers.com, hospitality careers. hospitalityonline.com, hospitality online. casinocareers.com, casino careers. napi.com, National Association of Wedding Professionals. bridalassociation.com, the Association of Bridal Consultants. afwpi.com, Association for Wedding Professionals International. acpwc.com, Association of Certified Professional Wedding Consultants. gueventmanagement.agusoft.net, Event Management Certificate Program, George Washington University. careers.hsmai.org/jobs, SMAI, Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International, SMAI. careers.mpiweb.org/jobseeker, MPI, Meeting Professionals International, the premier global association community for meeting and event professionals. conventionindustry.org/index.aspx, CIC, Convention Industry Council. Industry best practices, resources, and events. Event planning publications. BusinessTravelNews.com, Business Travel News. PCMA.org, Professional Convention Management Association. ISIS.com, International Special Events Society. GroupTravelLeader.com, Group Travel Leader. Meetings-conventions.com, MANDC. Event planners for hire. These companies plan events like weddings, business events, and parties. Books about how to plan events are at hashtag 658.4563 or A56 at the library. 101partysupplies.com/directory/corporate_event_producers. Anevents.com, Houston. Bands, musicians, DJs, and entertainers. BestPartyEver.com. BridalAssociation.com, Bridal Consultants. BusinessKnowHow.com/party planner. Cognizatcommunication.com, Event. Convention Management Association. ConventionsPlanner.com. CorporateEventChannel.com. Cvent.com. DenverAbsolutelyFunCharacters.com/planner.html. ENJOnline.com, New Jersey. eskindeep.com/event-planner. Event-planner.com. EventPlannerReport.com. EventsDepartment.com, Palm Springs, CA. EventsHome.com. EventWeb.com. Evite.com. flutterfetti.com/event-planner.html. GalasPartyGooseTincture.com, Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. Gigmasters.com, has over 15,000 bands. IMI.org, Meeting Planners. IMI.org/ISMP, Meeting Planners International. ISIS.com, Special Events Society. LastingEvents.com. LPRDayspa.com/event-planner, Los Angeles. MajorEventPlus.com. MeetingNews.com. MeetingPlannerTips.com. MPIWeb.org, Meeting Professionals. Occasion-creations.com/services.html. Olivia-charles.co.uk. OnlineWeddingPlanner.com, Ventura County. PartyOnCentral.com. PartyPlanner.bizopiahost.net, New Hampshire, Vermont, New England. PartyPlannerGuide.com. PartyPlannerSanJose.com. PartyPop.com. PDXEntertainment.com, Portland, or PersonalHeadlines.com/party. PlannersGuide.com/event_planner.htm. Princess-TIAParty.com, Phoenix, AZ. RiskReactor.com/what's-new/event_products.htm, Glow Party Supplies. SalsaChicago.com/n_weddingplanner.htm. SpecialEventsite.com. TheGreatEvent.com. TheGuide.com, Convention Center Directory. ThePerfectParty.com, Los Angeles and Southern California party and event planning orchestras and bands. OstentRental.com/party_event_planner.htm. WorldwideCorporateEvents.com. YourBigEvent.com, event planning company. Association of Bridal Consultants. 860-355-0464. BridalAssociation.com. Convention Industry Council. 8201 Greensboro Drive. Number 300. McLean, Virginia 22102. ConventionIndustry.org. Exposition Services and Contractors Association. 2260 Corporate Circle. Number 400. Henderson, Nevada 89074-7701. ESCA.org. Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International. 8201 Greensboro Drive. Number 300. McLean, Virginia 22102. hsmai.org. International Association of Conference Centers. 243 North Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri 63141. iaccglobal.org. International Association of Conference and Visitors Bureaus. 2025 M. St. N.W. Number 500. Washington, D.C. 20036. iacvb.org. International Special Events Society. 800-688-4737. 312-321-6853. ISIS.com. Meeting Professionals International. 1950 Stemmons Freeway. Number 5018. Dallas, Texas 75207-3109. 972-702-3000. mpiweb.org. National Coalition of Black Meeting Planners. 8630 Fenton Street. Number 126. Silver Spring, Maryland 20910. 301-587-9100. Chapter 3. Event Planning for Fun or Business 3. Artistic agencies, hire an entertainer for your wedding, party, or convention. These agencies deal with live performers for events. Artistic-agency.net has acts and performers to do live events like weddings and parties. Best-magicians.com. Circus-acts.com. Entertainmentagency.org. GaryOzier.com, bands and artists. Gigmasters.com. Nationalsportsagency.com, National Sports Talent and Celebrity Booking Agency, personal appearances. RealTalentTincture.com. Show-agency.com, specialized in all type of performers for upscale international events. Talents-productions.com. WannaBeHere.com, the promotion of talented people online, whatever their talent. Party stuff websites. For ideas, check out books about entertaining, #642.41 and parties including birthday at number 395, #395.22 and #793.2 or GV472.7 at the library. Alt.party. shindigz.com. privatepreserve.com, wine-saving gadget. vacuven.com, rapid ice wine cooler. alwaysperfection.com/party links to 1800partyconsultant.com. 1800partieshop.com. amazingmoms.com, kids parties. apartyaday.com. birthdayexpress.com. birthdayexpress.com. birthdaypartyideas.com. celebratedtimes.com, children's parties. celebrateexpress.com. dfcreations.com/baby shower. discoverfun.com. drinkstuff.com. Entertaining. Dead website, try.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com is dead, try thoughtco.com. Entertaining. Dead website, try.com, thoughtco.com, and thebalance.com is dead, try thoughtco.com/od/bridal and baby showers. familyfun.go.com/games. familyfun.go.com/parties. gourmetspot.com, recipes. hgtv.com. ilhawaii.net/pt. iparty.com. isis.com, special events, party planning. kid-party-ideas.com. lisasmexicanimports.com, piñatas. marshallmoody.com/50s.asp, party stuff. mystery-games.com. anemone.com/planet/greek/party/prty idea. pacifier.com/tilde-schaefer/games. parenting.com, kids parties. Parents.com, kids parties. par-t-perfect.com. party411.com. party411.com/gameguide-outdoors.html. partydirectory.com. partygamecentral.com. partygameideas.com. partyhere.com. partyideas.com. partyinaboxonline.com. partyplanimals.com. pattyzachs.com, party planning. perfect-party-ideas.com. pinatas.com, 888-764-2827. recipesar.com. rivercitygames.ca. specialevents.com. sunbeam.com/datatapage.aspx?n lit=40, games. sweetcelebrations.com. talkingpinatas.com. that'smyhome.com. that'sthspirit.com. themeprdesandmore.com. toysandcandy.com. worldclownassociation.com. 1800partyconsultant.com. 800 Party Shop. stumpsparty.com. 800-348-5084. 800-227-2789. Sell tickets to your event online. frontgatesolutions.com, online ticketing for venues, festivals. Sell more tickets with comprehensive ticketing software, custom websites, booking software, Facebook, and mobile ticketing.